All right, so you're prepping for a biologist interview. That's awesome. We've got all your RoleCatcher resources right here. And we're ready to help you totally knock this out of the park. We're going to dive into some common interview questions and try to figure out how to approach them. And I think you'll be surprised by some of the expert insights that we've got for you.
Absolutely. Having strong answers ready for these common questions is going to make you stand out as a candidate.
For sure. Plus, we're going to sprinkle in some advice from the Biologist Career Guide. The big picture stuff. And, of course, we'll show you how RoleCatcher's AI can give you that extra edge.
Yeah. That AI is really like having a secret weapon in your job search arsenal.
Oh, I love that. That secret weapon. Okay, let's just jump right into it. One of the first questions you might get is, what motivated you to pursue a career in biology? It seems simple, but there's definitely a right way and a wrong way to answer this.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They're not just looking for, like, a textbook definition of biology. They want to see your genuine enthusiasm and what sparked your passion. Was it a childhood experience in nature that led you here? A specific research project?
Maybe you had a mentor who really opened your eyes to the world of biology. Remember, a good story can make your answer really memorable.
Exactly. And this is also a great opportunity to weave in some insights from the Biologist Career Guide. For example, the guide highlights the growing need for biologists who can tackle real-world problems.
Well, that's a great point. So if you're passionate about, say, environmental conservation, you could talk about how that motivated you to pursue a career
Yeah.
where you can make a real difference.
It's all about connecting your personal passion with the bigger picture of what biologists actually do.
Okay, let's say they follow up with something like, can you elaborate on that experience and how it solidified your career choice?
This is where you can really dive into the details. What specific challenges did you face? What did you learn? How did that experience confirm that biology was the right path for you?
Yes, and remember, RoleCatcher's AI can help you actually refine your answers. You can get feedback on how well your response addresses the question and highlights the skills that they're looking for.
Yeah, it's like having a personal interview coach, analyzing your every word.
Okay, moving on to the more technical side of things.
Mm-hmm.
A question you'll almost certainly get is, what is your experience with laboratory techniques and equipment?
Now's your time to shine. But remember, don't just rattle off a list. Think about the specific job you're applying for. What techniques are most relevant?
Right, so if they're looking for someone with PCR experience, don't just say PCR. Tell them about a time you used PCR, maybe in a research project.
Exactly. For example, you could say, I used PCR to amplify DNA samples while researching genetic markers in a population study. You see the difference. It's specific and shows you actually understand the technique.
Much better. And if you're not sure which techniques to highlight, RoleCatcher can actually analyze the job description and suggest the most relevant ones for you to focus on. Pretty cool, right?
It takes the guesswork out of it, helping you tailor your response perfectly. Now, they might also ask, can you describe a time when you had to troubleshoot a problem with lab equipment or a specific technique? How did you resolve it?
Oh, this is a good one. Everyone runs into problems in the lab, so they want to see that you can think critically and solve problems independently. Choose an example where you really had to use your problem-solving skills.
Exactly. Maybe a piece of equipment malfunctioned or an experiment yielded some unexpected results. Walk them through your process. What steps did you take to identify the problem? Did you have to consult manuals or colleagues?
And don't forget to mention the solution. Did you manage to fix the equipment? Did you adjust the experiment and get better results? Highlighting a positive outcome shows you're a proactive problem solver.
And you never know. This could be another opportunity to connect back to the Biologist Career Guide. For example, the guide stresses the importance of adaptability in the field of biology.
Right. Because science is always evolving, so being able to adapt to new challenges is a really valuable skill. So you could say something like, this experience really taught me the importance of adaptability in research. I had to think outside the box and find a new approach to solve the problem.
Perfect. Now, another question you might get is, how do you stay up to date with the latest research and developments in the field?
Okay, so they want to see that you're genuinely curious and committed to lifelong learning, which is super important in a fast-paced field like biology. So how do you stay current? Do you attend conferences?
Reading scientific journals is another big one. You could mention specific journals that you follow, like Nature, Cell, or journals specific to your area of interest.
And don't forget about online resources. There are tons of great websites, forums, and even social media groups where you can connect with other biologists and stay updated on the latest research.
Yeah, it's all about showing that you're actively engaged in the scientific community and committed to expanding your knowledge.
Okay, so let's say they ask a follow-up. Can you tell me about a recent research paper or scientific breakthrough that you found particularly interesting, and why?
This is a chance to really show your passion. Think about a recent paper or discovery that really excited you and explain why. What were the key findings? Why did it resonate with you?
Maybe it relates to your own research interests or opens up new possibilities in your field. This is also a great place to showcase your critical thinking skills.
Absolutely. Did the paper challenge existing assumptions? Did it propose new avenues for research? Sharing your insights shows you're not just reading passively, but actively engaging with the material.
Right. You're thinking critically about the implications of the research.
And once again, RoleCatcher's AI can provide feedback on your answer, making sure you're highlighting the key points and presenting your insights in a clear and compelling way.
I love that we have that tool at our disposal. Okay, let's move on to a question that's all about your research experience. Can you describe a time when you designed and conducted an experiment from start to finish?
This is a classic. They want to see that you understand the scientific method and can apply it effectively.
So choose a research project where you played a significant role in the experimental design. What was the research question? What was your hypothesis? How did you go about designing the experiment to test that hypothesis?
Don't be afraid to get into the details here. What were your controls and variables? What methods did you use to collect and analyze data?
Right. And remember, you're telling a story. Walk them through the process step by step. It helps them visualize your thought process and understand your approach to research.
It's all about painting a clear picture of your research journey. Now, they might follow up with something like, what were some of the key challenges you faced during this project, and how did you overcome them?
The inevitable challenges. Remember, every research project has its obstacles. This is a chance to show that you can adapt, problem solve, and find creative solutions. Did you run into any unexpected results?
Maybe there were limitations with your equipment or resources. Did you have to adjust your methods or seek help from colleagues?
Exactly. Sharing how you overcame those challenges highlights your resilience and resourcefulness.
And this is another opportunity to subtly weave in insights from the Biologist Career Guide. The guide talks about the importance of collaboration in scientific research.
Oh, so you could mention how you collaborated with others to overcome a specific challenge, highlighting your teamwork skills.
Yeah, it's all about connecting your personal experiences with the broader skills and qualities that are valued in the field.
For sure. So we've covered a lot of ground. Let's do a quick recap before we move on to the final stretch. We talked about those initial questions about your motivation and passion for biology.
We dove into your technical skills, covering lab techniques, troubleshooting, and staying updated on the latest research.
We discussed teamwork and leadership, highlighting your ability to collaborate effectively and take initiative. And we just explored your data analysis skills and how they align with the evolving landscape of biological research.
You're doing great. We're almost there. Ready for the final round of questions?
Absolutely. Bring it on.
Okay, shifting gears a bit, let's talk about teamwork. Almost every biology role involves collaboration, so they'll probably ask you something like, can you describe a time when you had to work effectively as part of a team?
This is your chance to highlight your communication and collaboration skills. Choose a project where you really had to collaborate closely with others. What were your roles and responsibilities within the team?
Did you have to delegate tasks, share information, or coordinate experiments? How did you ensure that everyone was on the same page and working towards a common goal?
Yeah, and think about a specific instance where you had to overcome a challenge or conflict as a team. Did you have to compromise, negotiate, or find like a creative solution together?
Highlighting those instances shows that you can work effectively even when things get a little tough.
Right. Now, they might also ask, have you ever had to lead a team or take initiative on a project? Can you give an example?
Leadership. Even if you haven't held a formal leadership position, you've probably taken initiative or guided others in some way. Maybe you mentored a junior researcher or organized a study group.
Or took the lead on a specific aspect of a project.
Yeah, what's important here is to showcase your ability to motivate others, delegate effectively, and take ownership of a project. What were your goals and how did you achieve them? Did you face any obstacles along the way?
And don't forget to mention the impact. What was the outcome of your leadership? Did you achieve a successful result? Contribute to a publication? Or present your findings at a conference? Those tangible achievements really demonstrate the positive impact of your leadership. And speaking of impact, Data analysis is a huge part of biology. They'll probably ask you something like, how do you approach data analysis and interpretation?
This is your chance to really showcase your analytical skills. What statistical software are you familiar with? What visualization techniques do you use to make sense of the data?
Right. You could mention specific software programs like Python or even Excel,
Yeah.
depending on the job requirements and your experience. And don't forget to mention how you draw meaningful insights from the data.
Exactly. Can you identify trends, patterns, or anomalies? Can you use data to support or refute a hypothesis?
And this is another area where RoleCatcher's AI can be incredibly helpful. It can analyze the job description and suggest specific data analysis skills to highlight in your answer.
Yeah, it's all about tailoring your response to the specific needs of the role. Now, remember how we talked about connecting your experiences to the insights from the Biologist Career Guide?
Right.
The guide highlights the growing importance of data analysis skills in the field, especially with the rise of big data in biological research.
So you can say something like, I'm particularly interested in the application of machine learning techniques to analyze large biological data sets, as highlighted in the Biologist Career Guide. It's a rapidly evolving field with really exciting potential.
Perfect. That shows that you're not only aware of current trends, but also excited about the future of the field.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground. Let's do a quick recap before we move on to the final stretch. We talked about those initial questions about your motivation and passion for biology.
We dove into your technical skills, covering lab techniques, troubleshooting, and staying updated on the latest research.
We discussed teamwork and leadership, highlighting your ability to collaborate effectively and take initiative. And we just explored your data analysis skills and how they align with the evolving landscape of biological research.
Yeah, you're doing great. We're almost there. Ready for this final round of questions?
Absolutely. Bring it on.
Okay, let's tackle these last few questions. Now, they might ask you something like, can you describe a time when you had to make a difficult decision related to a research project? What factors did you consider?
This one is all about your judgment and your decision-making skills. They want to see that you can think critically, weigh different options, and make informed choices. So think about a time when you faced a real dilemma in your research. Maybe it was a question of experimental design, data interpretation, or even ethical considerations.
Right, and it's important to be honest and transparent in your answer. Don't try to sugarcoat it or pretend you always make perfect decisions.
Exactly.
Just explain the situation, the different options that you considered, and the rationale behind your final decision. What were the potential risks and benefits? Did you consult with others or seek guidance?
Walking them through your decision-making process shows you're thoughtful and capable of handling these complex situations. Now, thinking back to the Biologist Career Guide, they really emphasize the importance of communication skills for biologists.
Absolutely. Being able to communicate complex scientific information clearly and effectively is so crucial. So they might ask something like, can you describe a time when you had to present complex scientific data to a non-scientific audience? How did you ensure that your message was understood?
This is a great opportunity to showcase your ability to break down complex information into digestible chunks, use analogies, and tailor your language to your audience. You have to create visual aids, graphs, or presentations.
How did you engage your audience and make the information relevant to them? Think about a time when you had to explain your research to your classmates, family members, or even during a volunteer experience.
Yeah, those experiences really demonstrate your communication versatility, which is a really valuable asset in any scientific field.
Okay, last but not least, they might ask, do you have any questions for us?
Oh, this is your chance to turn the tables and ask some insightful questions of your own. It shows that you're engaged, curious, and genuinely interested in the position and the organization. All right, don't waste this opportunity with generic questions like, what's the salary, or how much vacation time do I get? Instead, ask thoughtful questions. That demonstrate you've done your research and you're thinking about the bigger picture.
For example, you could ask about the specific projects the team is working on, the opportunities for professional development, or the organization's long-term goals. You could even ask about the company culture and what they value in their employees.
Asking engaging questions not only gives you valuable information, but it also leaves a really positive impression. Remember, an interview is a two-way street. It's a chance for you to assess whether this is the right fit for you as well.
Absolutely. And before we wrap up, let's emphasize one more time how RoleCatcher can be your secret weapon throughout this entire process. From tailoring your CV and cover letter to practicing your interview answers and getting that AI-powered feedback, It's designed to help you succeed.
It's like having a personal career coach and cheerleader all rolled into one. So use it to your advantage and go into that interview with confidence.
Remember, you've got the knowledge, the skills, and the passion. Now go out there and show them what you're made of.
We're so excited for you. Good luck with your interview. And remember, the world needs brilliant biologists like you.